Hi, my name is Abigail Faye,
I'm Matt.
I'm Kukan.
and we are the Trunk or Treat group. So we're just going to kind of bring you into what our final project looks like. So we kind of talked about this before, but our event format, this is a trunk or treat. We wanted to make this a Halloween type event. So it's going to span over the course of 3 hours. And it's for anybody that knows what a trunk or treat is, it's just a walk through. There will be cars with their trunks open. They're going to be decorated. You're going to walk through the event, kind of do a social distancing type of trick-or-treating, and at the end there will be a food table, and we will also be having a costume contest.
So for the mission objective, so our mission for this whole event is to create a COVID-19 safe event where Brockville community can engage with the student body, and we hope to build a healthy relationship between the community and the student while fostering a safe environment for the holiday during current global pandemic. And we have three objectives for this whole event. One of which is to implementing and ensuring that all COVID-19 protocols and guidelines are being followed. The second one is having at least 20% of the Brockville community present in the event. And the third one is having at least 80% of the feedback in the evaluation saying that they felt safe and they had a good time, basically. Yeah.
All right, so this is our needs assessment. Obviously, the event's pretty specific to it being a Halloween event, but we still came up with some good questions to ask the participants before they engaged in this activity. And what we came up with was, what was the last event you went to that was put on by SUNY Brockport? Have you ever been to a trunk or treat style event? How likely are you to go trick or treating this year due to the global pandemic that is going on? And how has COVID-19 affected your holidays thus far?
So as for the number of attendees, so for sure, as I mentioned before, we would like to have more than 20%, at least 20% of the Brockville community engaged in this event. But with the cars, we'll have 30 cars parked up in lot T, and basically people go through and then do what they gotta do, enjoy the event, pick candies and stuff. But yeah. And as for the participant, the only thing we ask is that everybody's following a protocol, COVID-19 protocol, and just maintain 6 feet.
So for timing, this is going to take place the Thursday before Halloween. We didn't want to do this on Halloween night because we know some families do their own family thing. So we wanted to do this the Thursday before Halloween. It's going to span over 3 hours, and we plan to do it around 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. We talked about having about 200 people there throughout the course of the night. It's pretty flexible because it is a trunk or treat style event where you walk through, and then as soon as you walk through, you can leave. And we feel comfortable having a lot of people there, and the timing will allow for that. We do have a rain day in case of really, really bad weather that's dangerous. And in that case, we plan on doing it on the following day, which would be the Friday. So staff, in addition, the staff, they have to show up an hour before and stay an hour later to help clean up and set up. So, yeah.
Okay, so the venue we wanted to do this at was, we wanted the event to be hosted in Lot T, which is to the left of Tuttle. But we're aware that there would be some additional parking, additional people coming, so we were gonna have people directed towards the other side of the circ in Lot V, I believe, and they would walk over to Lot T to participate in the event. The circ building will be open in case of emergency. Yeah.
So for parking, we have two types of parking that we kind of wanted to get into, which would be the parking of the actual cars that were participating in the event, giving out candy. As mentioned before, they would be in Lot T. We would have arrows on the ground directing you which car to go to next, and the cars would be parked 3 spaces away from each other so that there was plenty of room for people to feel safe and that they weren't on top of each other. But for participants coming to the event, like Ku mentioned, we want a lot of the Brockport community there. So for those people who are coming, because obviously students could just walk from their dorms, but off-campus students and anyone from the Brockport community who's coming can park in the opposite Cirque parking lot, Lot V, like Matt mentioned, and then walk over to the event directed by all the various signs that we have, and it'll be accessible. So that's also a plus.
So as for the arrival, when people come, as we said it like multiple times, so they'll be directed to Lot V, and then but the event itself will take place on Lot T. But we'll have people park up at Lot V, but they could walk over to Lot T and then enjoy the whole event. But once they come, as I mentioned before, just make sure everybody's following COVID-19 protocol and just maintain 6 feet apart and just wearing a face mask and stuff. Yeah.
All right. So staffing we came up with, there would be 8 volunteer staff members. We would have 1 or 2 working the admissions area for when people come in. We would also have some people floating around, just ensuring that COVID-19 protocols are being adhered to, and just keeping an eye out on the event and making sure things are going smoothly. We would also have people working the food table and making sure everything is stocked up and out and ready to go. And we would also have ourselves working the costume contest at the end of the event. Aside from that, we wanted to have a photographer for the event so we could properly promote it and hopefully do it again in the future and get some good shots of people enjoying it. And lastly, since we want to make this a SUNY Brockport event and it's on Brockport's campus, we would love to have Ellsworth show up and participate to really spark that school. For the food and beverage, we wanted to do like a fall theme thing since it's a trunk or treat event. We wanted to have apple cider donuts and apple cider and pumpkin coffee. And we figured we'd partner up with our local Dunkin' Donuts here in Brockport. Yeah.
So since this is a low budget event, what we're gonna be doing is we're not gonna have a large form of entertainment. Instead, we're gonna be hosting a costume contest, and the winner will be voted, will be announced at the end, and they'll be chosen through a voting process by the people that hosted the event and the staff. And what the winner will get is a Dunkin' Donut gift card and an unspecified amount of with an unspecified amount of money, and a Halloween themed T-shirt. That's about it. Nothing too special, but it's still something to bring the spirit out.
So for risk management, there are 2 basic types of things that we are trying to plan for. The first one obviously being COVID-19. We want everybody coming to our event to feel safe. So at the admissions table, there will be a sanitation station, as well as sanitation stations throughout the actual walkthrough event, one also being at the exit. We are going to implement the wearing of masks, and we're going to have stickers on the ground encouraging people to stand 6 feet apart. And the last thing that we have to plan for is weather. So we did mention that we have a rain day in case of horrible weather.
And as for the promotion, there's many different strategies to this. We're gonna be using social media as well as Dunkin' Donuts, so we're gonna be working with them. But as for social media, we'll be using Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. So for Facebook, we'll create what is it called? We'll create a public event post where we'll invite many different people from the Brockport community just to make everyone aware of this whole thing. So they know what's happening. And for Instagram, we could take over Brockport Instagram. The college do the Brockport takeover and basically promote our program with flyers and stuff on it. And that's for Snapchat. Screenshot the screenshot. I can't even talk. I'm sorry, but boom. For the Snapchat, basically we post a flyer to make everybody aware. So I have a friend word of word mouth. Have everybody talk about it, so everybody is aware of this event.
So for the finances, we really don't have too much. We obviously need money for decorations and making this a fall themed event. We always want to have, since this is a COVID-19 event, we want to have extra masks and hand sanitizer stations present, extra candy in case people are to run out. And on top of that, there could if the circ was to charge us a fee to let us rent the parking lot, that would be another cost. And as far as food and beverage is concerned, we're hoping we can get Dunkin' Donuts to donate the food.
So for the evaluation, the last thing that we kind of wanted to do was send out an online survey to anybody who attended the event. Some of the questions that we would have up there are listed, so such as on a scale of 1 to 10, how safe did you feel at the event? How would you rate your satisfaction? Would you come to another event like this? How accessible was our event? I kind of mentioned it before, but just explaining it, since the event is outside and it's going to be on a flat parking lot, we figured that that would be wheelchair accessible. So we just want to get feedback, seeing if there was any other way we could improve that. Would you come to another event like this, or any additional comments that people may have? This will give us a very good idea of if maybe there was anything that we could improve, or if we should even do this event again. But basically, that is what we had planned for our trunk or treat event. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.